Hey YouTube, this is MindTech. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you a 24-hour noob review of the Nikon D3400 DSLR. This is the first time that I've ever owned an actual camera. This is really just my first impressions, what I like or appreciate over a cell phone camera. Let's talk about the ordering experience. I did buy this on eBay for $250 including shipping, and that did get you the lens and the body. When I saw that deal, I almost flipped out. You'd be spending $200 just for the body. Literally just this thing without the lens at all. Normally I'd have to get a D3300, and this is the D3400, mind you. The 3300 was released in 2014 and this one was released in 2016, and it was originally an auction with a buy it now price, so I obviously just went and bought it now before someone jerked up the price a lot. The experience with the seller was awesome. I'll put his link down in the video description. He answered all my questions. He responded really quickly. It shipped out a lot quicker than expected. It got here last Friday and they expected it by like Monday, and once I got it, it was in immaculate condition. Absolutely no scratches or smudges on the lens. I even got the camera strap with it. The battery was already charged, full health. The only issue that I found was tape residue on the bottom of the camera. All the other listings I had scratches on the screen, so to be able to get all that at such a low price, I honestly commend that seller. Thank you so much. Let's talk about some camera specific things. I literally can't give you a review of the camera. I have taken a few good pictures, but I don't know anything about photography, and that's where this camera shines. This is an entry-level beginner DSLR. It is meant for absolute noobs to learn about how to actually use it. That's what I'm beginning to do. There's just so many settings, all this ISO, the brightness, and the shutter speed to see how long the shutters open, the aperture, and all this stuff. It's over my head right now. I really want to learn about it. This opens that up to you. You have complete control. The settings are very comprehensive. The menus are easy to understand. The buttons are located in very smart positions. It is a little on the heavy side, at least for me, as long as you aren't like holding it for hours on end. It does have an ample amount of buttons, but not so much that it's going to blow your mind or make you press something that you don't want to press. One of my favorite buttons is FN. Normally this changes the shutter speed. This thing right here, you hold that FN down to change your ISO. And one kind of fun thing that I always like is pressing this flash button and having that flash pop up. The lens itself, not the best quality lens. If I'm zoomed way out, I do notice a bit of a fisheye effect, and when I zoom way in, it's really hard to focus the way that I need. And I also have found some troubles with autofocus when I'm recording videos. I don't know if I have the right settings whenever I try and focus on a subject that I really need to record quickly. I'm always moving this focus ring, trying to get it right. It takes me 20 seconds just to get it focused in. That's what phones are really good for. DSLRs apparently aren't good for that. Some other things, it doesn't have the best low light performance. What do you expect? This MSRP'd for around $650. It's not going to be perfect compared to a cell phone. That low light performance is just amazing. I can take random pictures in the middle of my dining room, and this is perfectly fine. Instead of like flat out grain, flat out distortion that you get with the regular cell phone camera, this just comes out a bit grain, something that I can live with. And like I did mention, I am excited to benefit from the different beginner features. You can have all this information, which is really cool, but if you press the LV button, it gives you a live view. And then if you press this info button, you can have a grid view, you can have a view for taking videos, so you can get your subject lined up and take that picture. Another thing that I appreciate is the 2-button click for the shutter button. You can get the lighting right correctly, make sure you just focus a bit, and take this shot. Once you do take the shot, all I have to do is press the zoom button, zoom all the way in. You can like inspect your photo to see if it was focused incorrectly. What really impresses me is once you press that I button on a photo, you have all these different retouch options. You can do Photoshop right on this camera. Of course, it isn't as good as Photoshop, but I have seen some tutorials where they make it like monochrome. They can apply different distortion effects, and one thing that I think is really cool is selective color. So if you're taking like one flower out of a whole beautiful flower bed. And one thing else that I love about this camera is the battery life is absolutely excellent. I can shoot for 3, 4, 5 hours and it doesn't die on me. And this battery charger did also get this with the eBay auction. I wish that it had at least 2 different things for batteries. I wish that I had more than 1 battery. This is also very speedy. I could leave it in for about 45 minutes and get 2+ bars. And also I'd like to go on about the different quality options that you have. You can change the resolution down to whatever you want. What I'm really interested in is Nikon RAW. You can go into Adobe Program and change all the settings. You can manipulate it all you want. I'm excited about being able to fix my photos once I'm done, especially if you're on a trip and you're just shoot. All the photos turn out like crap. Hopefully RAW will save at least some of them. And that's about it, honestly, for the D3400 specific features. So let's just talk about things that I love about DSLRs in general. I have tried for 2 years to record cinematic shots on cell phones. I started off with the Windows phones, the low quality Android phones, then I went up to the iPhones, and although those have high quality sensors, nothing can beat the manual shots that a DSLR can get. Nothing can beat the huge sensor size that a DSLR has, and I just appreciate it so much. Being able to focus on in a subject. I like to have a blur in the beginning for my B-roll shots and slowly go into that B-roll. With the phone camera, I had to try and focus on my finger quickly so the background would have a bokeh, and then tap the screen to go into the subject. It was a big hassle. With this, you can set the focus exactly the way that you need, and it'll remain that same way. If I'm focused on my hand, even if I move away from my hands, I can go back to my hands and it'll be in the same focus mode because it's manual. That's how I roll. I like things to be manual, and I just love being able to zoom in. You can hear that zoom. You're manipulating the photo yourself. Just satisfying. And being able to hear the clicks and the clanks of the shutter shooting, just so fun. And then when you switch between shoot mode, it's all like sound effects the phone manufacturers have built in, but these
are real sound effects, man.
What else? Apple has issues transferring photos from your phone to your computer, especially in the iOS 13 beta. It's just gotten unbearable. Being able to turn the camera off just with one flip of the switch, click that open, get that SD card, and then stuff that right into the computer. And like being able to actually go into the file explorer and see them without corruption, without all the Apple generated crap. Probably 75% of the time on Apple devices it just cuts out. That never happens with the SD card. Being able to hold your medium and then place it back, delete things off this card, format the card. Also, this does have a lot of ports, not as many as the D3300. Kind of forgot about that when I upgraded, which I am kind of mad about. The 33 did have an audio input, but one thing that I have used already is the micro USB port. When people take school photo shoots, they always have it tethered to their computers via this port right here. Every single photo doesn't save to the SD card, it saves to your computer hard drive. That's something that I've wanted on Apple devices for a long time. Let's say you're shooting like a bunch of photos of a book, you can do that directly to the computer. There's open source free software that you can download where you can organize your session. You can view a live view. It is pretty crap quality, but that's besides the point. The point is that you can get your subject into focus without having to look at this viewfinder. That is one annoying thing for vlogging. This is not a great camera. I know some DSLRs have the pop-out screen. You're not gonna get that on a sub $1,000 camera, but you can also use that micro USB to transfer. And going on the connectivity train, you also have Bluetooth support. So if you install the appropriate app on your smartphone, you can actually view all the files and download them to your phone and then share them on social media, so you can get that DSLR quality without having to import it into the computer and then email it to yourself on the phone. And finally, what I'm really looking forward to is the HDMI Type-C, or the mini HDMI port by dongle, just like you do with the new Mac Pro, but I can monitor everything in real time right on this monitor. That's what I've always wanted to do. Like, I cannot view what's on the phone screen without buying a really expensive dongle. And further, if I buy a capture card, I can live stream with this, or I can record directly to my computer. Switch that over to clean HDMI. I can zoom in, focus that up. There is a bit of a delay, as you could hear. 100% full quality. All I have to worry about is OBS. I'm the person that likes to be able to manipulate every single detail, and that's exactly what this camera enables. I'm not the best photographer right now, but I want to get better with you guys. I know there's a lot of people that kind of have the same passions as I do that are subscribed to me on this channel. I think that starting off on a $250 camera and seeing just what I can do with it, trying to learn it, trying to buy the accessories. I have a tripod on the way. This is not a good review, really. It's not a photographer review. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to learn about it, and I'm here to enjoy it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next one.